happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
Imagine life of blacks as they cross the Atlantic. Frantic, panic, helpless and abandoned, stranded in the life of the triangular trade, stolen from Africa to live the life of a slave. Every day was living hell, dreaded seeing tomorrow, yet they held their nation strong, united songs of sorrow. Oh Africa, when can we come back again? Or is this really the life of an African? But they made their culture felt, and they kept their poise, formed a double consciousness, said Mr. Du Bois. Lacking cultural retention made life a little harder, but times would improve if they wade in the water. So they showed off the swimming and diving. Meanwhile, I write my rhymes, but they made the freestyle. This is where more blacks were greater than more whites, and progress was felt for the future, foresight. The Muslims retained their clothes, food, and diet, but blacks weren't quiet, had to start a riot. So before they got the rights written in the Constitution, the story dates back to the Haitian Revolution, when they won their freedom in 1804, and other nations weren't excluding freedom no more. Although the thought of winning was far from near, Africans made the West known that we are here, are here.
100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later,
I could write 1,000 songs and spit them in the booth, and none of them could touch the words of mistruth. Born into slavery and couldn't read or write, but she made her voice heard as she was filled with Christ. Yet the blacks in the South were far from free. Can you imagine watching mom getting burned from a tree? Wincing at the lynching, hating all evil. But everything changed with the rise of boll weevil. Crops were killed as a result of the disease, so blacks moved north and got jobs with ease. Then came a change, the mood started to shift when the blacks felt a sense of racial uplift. No longer would the blacks be the lowest or the saddest, but elitists pushed to improve the status. Garvey in the UNIA at the time, like most of lived from the Black Star Line. Booker T said that they should wait for their progression. Du Bois was direct against his racial oppression. Ethelred Brown, the Unitarian preacher. Not to mention women were now becoming teachers. Blacks were united with these new heroes, stirred up their message and formed the new Negro. Then came the time of the Renaissance in Harlem. All different arts helped blacks rise to stardom. Who could have pictured this rise in the West? From slaves to singers, pushing to be the best. From coming to America filled with fear, to making steps forward saying we are here, are here.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Blacks were now striving, and all of them loved this, but still prevalent was racial injustice. Robeson and Randolph were both full of wisdom and pushed for equality and socialism. They were sick and tired of all the white orders. Then came the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters. This helped the poor through its labor unions and set the agenda for the civil rights movement. And for three people, all the blacks chanted. Dr. Martin King, Malcolm X, and Fred Hampton. I Have a Dream was the most famous breath, but could all three really prophesize the death? Pearl Primus showed black culture through dance. Regardless, all blacks had to take a chance. Sitting here today, look how far they've come since the whips on the backs where they started from. And really all they wanted to do was be free. Now a black man runs the show in DC. In the day they thought the times couldn't get harder. Now professors graduating Princeton and Harvard. It's amazing how they started in the backseat. Now today mainly blacks are the best athletes and singers and dancers, political leaders, leaders, actors and actresses, check them in the theaters. The list goes on, but the blacks aren't done, and they won't be until full equality is won. But until that day, we can stand up and cheer, cause the blacks made it clear that we are here, are here.